So today we are going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over on a fantasy map. In the last episode, we saw a couple things happening, such as the creation of the Star Alliance over here and the addition of 3 members into the Triangle Alliance. We saw a huge war happen up here in Alteron, in Western Alteron. So yeah, that was pretty big for the series. Or not really big for the series, but we also saw a tiny war happen up here between the yellow team and the brown team. We saw a land purchase take place, or like a land trade over here between the two 3-point star members. We saw the Octagon Alliance forming between some of the only militarist countries in the world. We saw the discovery of this island right here by the blue and the beige country up here, and we'll get into that in a second. We saw the expansion of the Parallelogram Alliance to combat the pink team expansion over here and also over here. And then the most major part, we saw the we saw the start of the Orange Team Civil War, which is that's pretty. This is going to be a very important part of the series because it's going to change how this this continent is going to look, or like country-wise. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Staying over here on the military alliances layer, we are actually going to be seeing the recruiting of a couple of countries joining in on the 3-point star alliance to combat the 5-point star alliance over here. These members include the brown team up here. Surprisingly, the fractured pink team over here, they joined for some reason. And then the most interesting of them all, we see the dark red team joining in on this alliance. As the red team and the dark red team, they have been friends for quite a long time. Even they've been friends for like the entire series. But now we are going to go down to the Orange Team Civil War, as we see green team troops continue their offensive into the orange team, as they will try to sever connection between this army right here and the rest of the country. As we see, they will retake one of their exclaves and move over and retake the other, severing the supply lines a little bit, leading to a green team pushback in the north. This is extremely good for them, as then their troops are going to flood into this area to increase more of like green team productivity in this war, and also so that they can get as much land out of the peace treaty if they survive. And surprisingly enough for them, they will be able to make a very good offensive or defensive over here, pushing them all the way back to the border and freeing up a little bit of land around their capital city. One reason for this being is because the orange team is completely focusing on the brown team over here in this area and destroying them as fast as possible. As we see, they will just send millions of forces into these 3 exclaves and take them over. And like I said in the end of last video, the orange team, they're doing very good now against the brown team, even to the point where they're able to push them back completely out of their territory and move into the remaining brown team. Additionally, the orange team leader will sail a boat over through the sea and land in the major capital city of this lime thing over here, which is this city right here. And basically what they discuss is a semi-peace treaty / alliance between these two, which is basically saying the Orange Empire will grant these guys independence if they will not join in on this war any longer and just fight the brown team with them. So that deal is made, making these guys a new independent state. And from here, it is a beating from the brown team's just being beat on right now, as the brown team is beat back to these 2 major cities in about a month from the collapse of their front line over here. And then they will be remaining in this one major city. However, they're going to hold out there for a little while. However, while that was going on, the green team was able to push the orange team completely out of their territory and even start another offensive into the orange team. This time they will target this major city right here as they will start to move down the coast, threatening the orange team's capital, especially after a huge battle will be lost and resulting in like 100,000 people getting encircled in this exclave. From here, the green team armies will start to push out toward major cities such as these two right here. However, no more offensives will be made as they're just basically just gonna target these two cities and maybe they'll try to get a peace treaty out of them. Right after this happens, we see the surrendering of this exclave right here, and with this surrender leads to the capturing of this major city. And then right after this, the green team leader will meet in the capital city with the orange team, and they will discuss a peace deal between the two, resulting in the green team gaining their independence. And then the orange team, being mad about this, they're gonna send their armies up here toward the blue team border. And yeah, what do you think is gonna happen? They're copying pink team tactics. And from here, we are going to be seeing a full-out invasion of the blue team. The blue team is very, very weak. So, yeah, that's what happens. And now we're going to take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see a few things happening. Starting off with the easiest thing, we see that the Cyan kind of country will regain its independence. And then the next thing, we actually see the green team annexing all of this land right here, which greatly reduces the orange team. And then we see the creation of the yellow team. And, well, yeah, this is what our borders look like right now. Now we head over to a different corner of the world that we have not been in for quite some time, over here on this peninsula, and we are going to be talking about the gray team. Specifically because the gray team has just invaded this green country right here, and this is sounding the alarm bells now for the whole peninsula, as this is saying the gray team is back on the move. Protect yourselves at all costs. And immediately after this, the hexagon coalition will be formed against the gray team, and now this is going to be a fight worth watching, as gray team forces are going to get the upper hand on the first couple days of the war, as they will encircle and also attack the capital city pretty fast, and the whole southern part of the country will be recaptured and be starting to turn into their territory again. Additionally, the gray team will invade this little pink country as they do not stand a chance at all. And from here, they are going to start another offensive up here on the green team. And then very shortly after, they will start an invasion of the blue team. However, where they don't have the upper hand is up here, as the white team, Limish country or whatever, will start an invasion of these guys. And also the pink team right here. Why is there another capital city? We shall never know. But they will also start an invasion of these guys, capturing a lot of land, and also I just want them, the mint kind of country, to get some more, because these guys are pretty small compared to these guys. Eventually, after a long time of preparation, the gray team will finally send troops into the pink team over here, as they will start a spearhead toward the capital city and also start to move up and around. And from here, the green team and, a little bit of the white team is basically just going to collapse, as the gray team troops will invade into the green team, capturing their capital city. And from here, they will start another offensive into the blue country. However, the blue country is a fairly strong country in this region, not nearly as strong as the gray team. However, they are able to hold their own. As soon, some pink team forces will move in and start to help out the blue team with their pushback, as they will start to push the gray team troops all the way back to this capital city. However, then it will be stalemated because the gray team troops are going somewhere else. Oh boy, that's where they're going. As the gray team troops are going to start invading into the orange team, and this is really, really bad, as the orange team is probably the strongest country out of all of these guys in this coalition, and the gray team is significantly stronger, and they are already encircling the capital city, and this is really, really bad news for the coalition, especially if they want some of their countries to survive. Additionally, the blue team will push back all the way out of their borders, and yeah, they will re-push out of their borders, and then something really weird is going to happen. Blue team forces are going to start invading the pink team. This is bad. Like, no one has ever seen this happen before. The blue team is invading pink, an ally. They are invading a pink team, or the pink team, who is an ally of themselves. And this is really weird. Like, why would they invade these guys? Well, this was the plan all along. They agreed to join in on the coalition with the others. However, they had secretly been plotting this with the gray team to take over this whole area together. And yeah, this is how they're doing it. They're teaming up. With this teaming up, all gray team forces are actually going to leave the pink team because their ally, or their semi-ally now, is doing a very good job at taking them out. In fact, they will actually capture the capital city of this country, and from here, it is basically full-on collapse. Additionally, with the traitorous blue team betraying the orange team capital is going to be captured, and yeah, it's basically game over now. And after all this is over, they will all agree to settle down in a peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see something really, really weird happening. We see the blue team taking over all of this land, and the gray team taking over this land, and the pink country up here. And then, yeah, I forgot this part. They also annex the green team, making there be a lot less countries in this area. Specifically, the pink team is gone, and the gray team is, or the orange team is severely reduced. But now you may be wondering, how come the Triangle Alliance did not come to the aid of the orange team? Well, I'm going to answer that right now. The orange team decided to join this war because they did not want the gray team gaining a ton of influence over here. And they joined in voluntarily. Remember, this is not an attack all attack, or if one attacks somebody, they will not all attack somebody. Only if a majority of the people vote. I don't really think I mentioned that. But if a certain amount of countries, like since there are 50% or more have to agree to go to war. And since nobody really voted to go to war against the gray team was able to invade the orange team and get away with it. Now we head on down to the whatever this, I think it's called Trissos. But we head down here because something very interesting just happened over here. And what we see is actually these two countries declaring independence away from the I mean, they were always independent, but they were like puppets of the yellow team, and they will declare their independence away, making the yellow team very mad. However, the blue team up here actually has the back of these two countries, so the yellow team will not be invading them. However, the yellow team will be expanding an absolute crap ton over here, making themselves one of the largest countries in the world at this point, just behind the pink team, as they will annex a crap ton of land down here, and this is going to make the rest of these countries split up this land over here. As we see right here, we see the cyan country getting this land, and the gray country getting this piece of land right here, making their borders look absolutely terrible. And then we see a brand new country forming right here. And believe it or not, the blue team is getting a little tiny exclave on the other side of the continent. Why is this, you may ask? Well, this is because they would like a base over here just in case the yellow team ever tried to invade different countries. But yeah, that's basically it for down there. But now we're heading up here to actually to the dark blue team. Nah, I changed my mind. We're heading over here because we have to talk about these two countries right here. And this all has to do with the colonization of this island, as we see the beige team making another move over here in this area, as they will start to expand further onto this island. However, this island is still mostly uncharted, so they don't really know where they're going yet. Additionally, we see the blue team making a landing on this island and taking over this like whole bay before they reconnect up with their old claims and continue to go up this little coast thing. But it's here where the beige team will meet up with the dark cyan or with the cyan country, and immediately relations turn horrible. From here, we see a bunch of boats sail over here and take over this island. And right as this happens, we see the blue team continuing their expansion up into further parts of this island, just making sure that they have a firm foothold over most of the land here. However, when word gets over to the king of, or I don't really know what this thing is, the Republic, when the information gets over to the Republic of this beige country, they are going to be absolutely furious. And from here, we are going to see a declaration of war. Not really a declaration though, as they will just start sending their troops in, as they want to recapture or just capture this whole island for their own gain. And this catches the blue team by surprise. And right, really quick, I'm gonna put down some major cities. There we go. Not too many, just because this was literally just discovered. But yeah, getting back to the war, we see that a very important landing is made by the beige team as they cut off a little bit of land from this major city, causing like supply lines to sever, because now if you need to get food from your capital city up here, you have to send one boat up here, and then you have to split another one off over here to feed the rest of your colony in these two major cities. However, the blue team does have a trick up their sleeve. This being, they don't give a flying crap about what's happening down here. Instead, they are going to start their own invasion into the beige team colony, catching them off surprise because they firmly expected a ton of troops to be down here. However, now they are already targeting one of their major cities, and this is very, very bad. Additionally, they will land on this island that was recently annexed and start fighting over this right up here. From here, we see a ton of the beige team forces leaving the main island, and even letting up a little bit of blue team expansion back onto their own territory, just so they can fight against the blue team. As fighting will start to get super brutal up here, with the beige team starting to use like I don't really know. They're just starting to kill people, civilians. They don't really care. They need to win this war. And right now, they're starting to become more of a dictatorship than a republic. But back down here, we see the blue team taking over the rest of this land in here. However, they are also being pushed out over in this little peninsula thing. However, a major battle is going to occur right over here, which results in a blue team victory, leading to the separation of half of the island. And this is really bad, as now the beige team can no longer supply troops over here, because yeah, what do you expect? I mean, you're gonna get bombarded right in here because these guys have naval access over here now. But from here, we see the blue team starting to move up towards this major city, in which they will capture it with ease. And yeah, this is not looking good for the beige team. With this terrible defeat, the beige team armies will start to lose hope, and a huge offensive is going to occur by the blue team in this colony, which leads to or not millions, there's probably like barely 100,000 people on this island, but this leads to 100,000 people starting to starve, as now the Republic is refusing to send any more aid over to the country, since, well, they see no need for it anymore, which results in the capturing of the whole island by the blue team. However, the beige team is able to keep this major city. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see that the Cyan country will get the whole island under their control, kicking the Republic's grasp out of the island, making these guys furious. However, they're not going to do anything just quite yet. But now for the final event in this episode, we have to head back over to the western side of Alteron, back to the blue team. The blue team has been fairly stable over the years. However, in recent months, something really bad has just happened for them. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say really bad, but the blue team leader, basically the bad thing that was happening is the whole, Alteron, they don't really like the blue team. The blue team has had negative views, basically the whole series, ever since the fascist government came in. No, they're not turning away from fascism, but, in order to increase some relations, they're going to do a land trade with a certain country. And that land trade, not really a land trade, it's more like a land regain, I guess. The green team is going to be given some land by the dark blue team, and these borders are absolutely horrendous. So in order to make them look better, we are going to assume that the green team bought a little bit of land from the gray team, and from here they are going to get a little bit extra from the blue team, making these borders look a little bit better. But with this, the blue team, they are still very strong. They only lost 3 major cities. But from here, the dark blue team is going to get a lot more on the side of their neighbors. I'm sorry that I said last thing, because that was obviously a lie, because there is still one more thing that I have to discuss. And coming back over here, we have to go on the military alliances once again, as the Pentagon Alliance is now making another move. Now getting the purple team to join up with the Pentagon Alliance. And this is huge for the world, and I just realized that it's not the right size. There we go. But anyway, the Pentagon Alliance gains the purple team in its it's basically a semi-global alliance now. But they will but the pink team will recruit their neighbor, and now the ties between these two have really increased, even though these guys were a breakaway state from the pink team government itself. However, they really have gotten along with each other, unlike them and the yellow team, because that rivalry goes way back. But this one, they were let go, and now they are friends with their basically their grandfather. But that is going to do it for today's episode. In the next episode, I will give a little teaser. There is going to be a pretty big thing happening, which is going to cause a lot of tension and eventually lead to World War I. Just wanted to throw that out there. What is this layer? Never mind. But anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode. I really hope you guys like it. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. All the support is greatly appreciated. But I will see you guys in the next one.